All right, everyone, can we charge 2 e-bikes using the Rockpals 500 watt portable power station? Let's find out. Let's turn this baby on. You got to hold the power button to turn it on. It comes on. We're at 98% on this power station right now, and I'm going to turn on the AC side here. You got to hold this button to turn it on. And now I'm going to charge my aerial rider X class. So we're going to plug that in right here. It's hard to do this stuff one-handed. Okay. Plugged in. We're rolling. It's charging. Charge lights are on and it's pulling out. If you can see that, 146 watts right now. So that's good. I mean, 500 watt station, so we're well under the limit there. So let's charge the Citizen bike next. I'm going to plug it in right on the other side. Right here. Plug that in. All right, it jumped it up to 279, 280 watts. So there you go. We are charging both bikes. All right, so you're gonna use this power station to charge your e-bikes? I don't know, probably not, but you could, right? It'll charge 2 e-bikes. I'm thinking maybe if you transport your e-bikes in a vehicle out to the trails, you ride a nice long trail in the morning, come back to your car for lunch, you could charge your bikes while you eat lunch, right? And then hit the trails in the afternoon. It would be cheaper than buying backup e-bike batteries to swap in and out because they're very expensive. This goes for, I think, $409 online right now. You could maybe get 1 e-bike battery for that. So cheaper option, and plus it's got a lot of other uses. And this is here courtesy of Rockpals. They reached out and said, hey, can you do a review on the 500 watt portable power station? And I said, sure, because I like Rockpals. Let me show you. They sent me this right here. They sent me the 500 watt power station and a 100 watt solar panel. But over here, this is all of my own personal Rockpals stuff that I bought with my own money because I actually use their stuff. So when they reached out, I said, absolutely, I'll check it out because I have my own 200 watt power station, 300 watt power station. I have 2 solar panels and I have those 2 battery bank emergency lights that I use. I actually use the lights on a regular basis. I use them as battery banks. So I was happy to take a look at the 500 watt power station and do a video on it. I'm not gonna do your typical review video and show you, I mean, there's a million of those out there, right? And you probably know how they work. I'm gonna try to front load the video a little bit for you today and tell you some things, some places you might be able to use this that maybe you didn't think of, and I'll show you how I use it personally. All right, so most people probably think about 2 things when they think about these power stations, right? You're gonna use it for camping when you don't have power, or you're gonna use it when the power goes out at your house and it's an emergency situation. Let me grab it here so you can get a better look at it. This is about 12 pounds. It's pretty light and you got a carrying handle. And I thought of some other uses that maybe you don't think of right away. So regarding emergency power outage, yeah, it's great for that. You can run lights and small items around the house. You could probably run a small like dorm fridge. I think a more important thing is if you need to power any medical equipment that you have, if you sleep with a CPAP machine, or if you're diabetic and you want to power a small fridge to keep your insulin cold, you could use it for that. So it is handy to have in that situation. That is one of the reasons I have these power stations, but I use them for other things too, which we'll get into. But here's a couple other things you might not think of. If you have a front porch or back patio that doesn't have a power outlet, you can take it with you to the pool. If you want to blow up pool toys, take it to the beach with you. In the back of the car, if you've got kids or grandkids that are powering multiple devices, there's only so many charging outlets in the back of a car. You could use this for tailgating if you go to a lot of football games or your grandson's baseball tournaments and you need some power at your vehicle, you don't want to turn your car on. If you have a garden shed with no power, you want to take this out there so you can run some lights and see what you're doing. I used one of these at my last house for that. So there's a couple uses I thought of for the power station. Let me know what you use it for. Let's take it over to the workbench, take a better look at it. This is the box that comes in. This is what you get in the box. You get the power station and these 2 charging cables here. Let's power it on. You just hold the power button for a few seconds and it'll come on and show you how much charge it's got. We're at 97%. Now the way you charge this up, you can either use the wall outlet charger and plug it in right here, and it'll charge up in about, I think it's 6 to 7 hours from empty to full. When I got it, it was at 61%, and I plugged it in and it was fully charged in about 3 hours. You can also charge it using the solar panel, and you can plug in right here to the Anderson outlets or plug it right in there there's an adapter on the solar panel. You plug right in there. I did try charging with this solar panel, and it's really, really dependent on the sun, of course. When there was full daylight, I think I was getting around 67 watts into the power station coming in. On a really cloudy, overcast day where you could barely see the sun, I was only getting like 7 watts. So it's gonna take some time to charge this using a solar panel. When I was plugged into the wall, I went from 61% to fully charged in 3 hours. When I plugged into the solar panel, getting 65, 70 watts, I left it in for 3 hours, but I went from 56 to 82%. So definitely a lot longer using solar. I didn't try to recharge it fully using the car adapter, but that's this one here. You can plug directly into your vehicle and charge as you drive. So your inputs are right here and right here, and then your outputs are right here. This is all your DC outputs on this side. And to make these function, you have to click that on. You'll see the little green light come on. Just punch it once and you've got all these DC ports available to you. You got all your USB ports up here. Again, just punch the button, it'll turn green and come on, give you access to all these. I tried these. This is a quick charge port up here on the top right, and it was quicker. I plugged my cell phone in, and when I was plugged into these ports over here, I left it in for 10 minutes and it gave me about 8% jump in my battery on my cell phone. When I did the quick charger, left it on for 10 minutes, it went up about 14%. So it actually does charge faster. And then down here on the bottom right, you've got your two AC outlets, and you've got to hold this button for a few seconds to turn those on. Turn green and you're ready to go. Now one of the questions you might have is, can you charge it while stuff is plugged in? Yes, if you got anything DC plugged in or the USB outlets, you can run items and charge at the same time. If you have something plugged into the AC ports, you can't charge the station and run things at the same time. Now, I did spend some time using the power station and plugged my work laptop and my cell phone into it and ran it all day for an 8-hour day. And it ran my work laptop and my cell phone, kept everything fully charged, and it went down to about 50% after an 8-hour day of continuous use. All right, so what can you power with this power station? Well, I mean, really anything that's going to be under 500 watts. They give you a couple examples on the box here. GoPros, cameras, laptops, drones, CPAP, air pumps, coolers, lights, anything that's going to be not crazy power draw on this thing. Anything less than 500 watts, you should be able to run it with this power station. But let's take it over here and I'll show you the main reason I bought it and where I use it. All right, here we go. This is one of the main reasons I had purchased a Rockpals power station originally, for my mobile man cave. I set up my enclosed cargo trailer as my man cave. This was before I had a garage to work in. I did a lot of work in this 6x12 enclosed trailer, working on all the e-bikes. I needed some power out here to run a radio. I got my television. I have an antenna on the roof of this. So I had antenna TV. I have lights rigged up. Let's plug everything in. So this right here is my lights for the trailer. Plug that in. And there you go. Now I put LED strip lights all around the roof line of this trailer. So I got great lighting in here. And then also let's plug in the television, get that running too. The lights are only pulling 28 watts. Let's see what the TV does. It's up to 56 watts with the TV and the lights. That's like nothing. Is the TV gonna come on? There it is. So I got golf on the TV. But I used to work out of here and power my laptop out of here, do all my e-bike work in this mobile man cave, and it was great just having a little, power station, having the ability to plug stuff in where there's no outlet. So that's what I can tell you. Anytime you've ever said, okay, I wish there was a plug right here, that's where you use a power station like this. But now let me go show you the solar panel. We'll give that a try real quick. All right, so here is the 100-watt solar panel they also sent that helps charge the power station. It's surprisingly heavy. It's like 9.5 pounds, although it folds up real thin, and it folds out into 4 different panels. And you can see on the back, it's got a zippered kind of carrying case on the back that houses all of the different wire adapter in here, because you can charge multiple different types of power stations. But this is your power cord that plugs right into the power station. Very simple. It comes already set up like that. This is a little indicator that shows you when it's charging. There's a red light that comes on, and there's 3 USB power ports, so you can just plug devices directly into the panel. You don't even need the power station. You just take the panel with you and charge your cell phone, which is why I have my own personal solar panels over there from Rockpals that's what I keep them for, so I could charge my phone in an emergency. I actually keep one in my truck. Let's see if it's still in my truck over here. Just keep it under the seat. There you go. Rockpals. It's always there. It's just, I always keep it in my truck. I always have a emergency first aid kit, fire extinguisher. I mean, I try to keep some preparations on hand. But let's unfold this panel so you can see how big it gets. It gets pretty big. It's got 4 different panels that flop out. And you know, if you're charging with this thing, you've got to come out and readjust the panels so they're directly in the sunlight, or you're not going to get the full amount of wattage out of it. But let's plug my phone into the back of this panel. It gets pretty long. I'll put the dimensions on the screen for you. Let's come up here, flip this closed for a second, and plug into right there. You can see, you probably can't see on camera, but the red light is on, so it's showing that this thing's getting power. I'll plug in my cell phone, and we'll flop this back up. And of course, the sun just went behind a cloud, but we'll see if we can put this in the shade. Maybe you can see it. We'll plug in my cell phone and see if it gets power. There you go. We're charging. I'm at 58% right now, and it's charging my cell phone off of the sun. Very handy to have. And again, you can also charge the power station with it too, though. Now, I do have one complaint about the solar panel, and that is that there's no stands on the back of it to prop it up and angle it appropriately at the sun. You know, it's just flat on the back. There's nothing right here. There's no stands to angle this up. So you'd have to find, if you're out somewhere, you'd have to find something to prop up the solar panel on. It'd be really cool if they could add, you know, just little folding stands to allow you to angle the panel where you need it. All right, everyone, that was a little bit about the Rockpals 500 watt portable power station. And right now it's outputting 45 watts because it's powering my ring light. So y'all can see me nice and clear. But I'm curious, during that video, did you come up with any ideas of how you might use a portable power station like this? Drop it in the comments. And before I go, I want to give you one other real life customer service story about Rockpals. I didn't even tell them this story yet, but I had purchased a Rockpals power station for my trailer, my mobile man cave, to power everything. And I used it for probably, I don't know, 6 months or so, and it died, unfortunately. It would turn on, but it just had an error code and it wouldn't power anything. And I reached out to them and said, hey, it's got an error code, it's not working. They asked me to take a picture of the error code on the screen and send it to them with my order number, and I did. And they said, no worries, we got you covered. Unfortunately, they didn't make that model of power station anymore, so they said they're just going to give me a full refund. So they refunded all of my money when the power station went down. So, I mean, that sounds like pretty good support. I mean, at least I was happy with it. I was so pleased with it that I actually took the money and went out and bought the other Rockpals power stations that I have in the solar panels. I know people are always curious about customer service, and at least in my experience, it was a very good experience. So I wanted to share that with you. I will, of course, link this power station below so you can find it. And I mean, they've got a bunch of different options on the website for sizes of power stations, and then also some other accessories too. I know they have a battery powered like miniature refrigerator, like a travel camping type fridge, which is kind of cool. I might actually looking to get one of those myself. That would be really handy to have for traveling. But check out all the stuff on their website. Drop me a like if you like this video. I was trying not to do just your straight review video. I wanted to kind of show this thing in action a little bit. If you got questions about it, drop them in the comments. I'll try to answer them while I've got my hands on this baby here. And I think that is all for today. So appreciate you all for watching. Check out that link below and hit the subscribe button. Thanks.